Hey folks, I'm here today with Adam Reid, who was voted by you, the public, as one of the top 10 actors here in Montreal, and it appeared in the Montreal Mirror. Adam, welcome back to Push Play.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. So Adam, you had a lot going on in 2008. What are some of the projects that you were working on this year?
Yeah, 2008 was a big year. I think it was, every actor looks for their leap year and looks for that step to be able to be made, and I worked on, a variety of projects, and I think the key word in 08 was, versatility. I wanted to get out there, I wanted to show my range and be able to, work on a cooking show or fight some of the biggest names in sports or then host an event in the city. So it was a big year. It got me to touch on a lot of subjects and a lot of different projects and work on a documentary and really get out there and grind and kind of find where I really want to go. And I think that's what 2009 is going to bring. I think is a little bit more specific and as far as what my talent's all about and push, from there. And the Montreal public, of course, has been just amazing for me, and obviously with the nomination to the top 10 was something that I'm very thankful for, and I thank everybody out in Montreal for doing that. It goes a long way, and that's what I think Montreal is all about. It's about supporting up-and-coming talent. People want to help each other, and I think there's this sense of Montrealers who feel as if we don't get the respect we deserve. And it's not only in acting, it's in entertainment, it's in design, it's in fashion, it's in music and writing and literature and science and you name it. And I think that anytime somebody has a possibility of rechanging that or rewriting the equation, I think people get excited about that. So hopefully I can be that person and work hard in 09.
So there's a fine line between hosting and being an actor. What do you have to say about that? Because it's a bit touchy. Like it's the same, but it's still different at the same time.
It is. The difference between an actor and a TV host, I think, is, an actor has to have the potential of being multidimensional in the sense that you have to be able to go in and give that character and be somebody else. And the truer you are in playing that character, the better it is. The more real you are, the better it is. And with TV hosting, you need a huge personality. You need a personality that the person who's watching you, Mr. and Mrs. Everyone who's watching you on TV can relate to you and like who you are and like your attitude and be able to be quick on your feet. And I think that's the main difference between an actor and a host. And I know a few producers in the city where they casted actors, to become a TV host, and it just backfired because of the fact that they knew all their lines by heart and they could deliver every tone and every angle and every pull and every line the same way 100 times over. But if I did guess through a little curveball and took them into a different thinking process, it just broke that concentration. The same way that a TV host has a hard time playing a character and bringing it down to be that one type of character that the director is looking for. So I've been able to balance both, and I think 09 will most likely be about acting because I really want to keep working on my acting. It's what I really love about TV. It's what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to work sitcom and episodal work, and that's what I really strive in. But hosting, of course, is something that allows me to get out there and show my personality and be that guy that everybody knows, at the corner store or when I'm having a coffee at the Italian cafe, and that's what I want to portray on TV. So it's been good.
You mentioned earlier that you were in a French film before we went on the air. What was your experience on that film?
Yeah, I was excited to work. It was a French film called Vos Marques Pret Party. It's a cult classic film. Created here in Quebec City and here in Quebec, and it's really something that I think is just an unbelievable topic. It's your typical high school flick, love story, a little bit of sport in there, and to be able to give back to the Quebec productions and be able to immerse myself in the Quebecois production companies was just an unbelievable experience. And you look at the difference between the English and the French and how they run their sets and how the English run their sets, and both are excellent at what they do. And the fact of working with Frédéric Damour, he was the director on the film, how he went out and got the best of every single actor on that set while keeping the most laid back and relaxed set I've ever worked on, to me was one hell of a feat. And I really do look forward to working with him again. He's just unbelievable. And obviously production, everybody who worked on it. It was a really passionate crew, and it was my debut on the French scene, and I look forward to a lot of more projects on the French side, that's for sure.
You also recently started working for Strikebox because the MMA company closed down. So what do you hope to accomplish with this company?
Well, MMA is huge. I mean, a lot of people know that mixed martial arts is huge. It's huge in the U.S. You've got UFC. In Japan, it's very big. In Europe, it's very big. I was approached by Stéphane Patry, who was the CEO of TKO. There was a little bit of a difference in vision as far as the companies went on, so he let go of TKO and then is rebranding a brand new organization called Strikebox. And it's all about combat sports, modified rules that are really going to give the fans what they want. And I was approached to work as sort of like a Canadian Joe Rogan. So, a guy who's got a little bit of a beard and a scruffy look, and he goes into the ring and you know, what are you doing? And let's talk about your fight. How'd you train? And really get in there and get the nitty and gritty, and also do color commentary and the weigh-ins and the press conferences. So that's going to be a huge opportunity for me, considering that most of these events are going to be televised, whether on the French side at a certain network or an English side on the network. I think that's going to be real good exposure for me. And on top of that, I love mixed martial arts. I love what it represents. I love the fact that these are fighters who train ridiculously hard, and you just never know what's going to happen in the ring. Similar to the acting career, similar to anybody's career, you just don't know what's coming. You don't know when something's just going to take off, or you don't know when you'll knockout punch on the guy you weren't supposed to beat or weren't supposed to beat to get the job, and all of a sudden now you're the star, and all of a sudden now you've got the power to be able to propel your career into another direction. So there's a lot of relationships between MMA and the entertainment business, that's for sure.
How is Strikebox different from any of the other MMA industries out there right now?
That's a whole new show in itself. But in general, it's modified rules where takedowns are basically not permitted. So, you know, the 2 or 3 minutes of the fighters on the ground and trying to jostle for position or getting a full mount or going for a submission is out. Now it's pure strike boxing. Now it's pure, you know, strikers, knees, Muay Thai, you know, more spectacular than boxing, you know, more eccentric than kickboxing. So I think the Quebecois people know what that is because of, you know, Saturday night and their hockey fights, and they're used to a big brawl and are really, you know, the last man standing is the kind of view that they have. And I think that's what strike boxing is going to give to the people here in Quebec and hopefully across the country, because it's an organization that was huge before through the umbrella of TKO, and I think it's going to be even bigger now. So I'm really excited to be part of them. I just hosted their press conference, and their first event, by the way, is February 6th, 2009. It's going to be an unbelievable card with some of the biggest names on the card: Thierry Quenneville, Steve Bossé. People who follow the scene definitely know who those guys are, and it's just going to be unbelievable.
Is this at the Bell Center?
Not sure yet. It's not, the details haven't been released yet. We don't know where we're going and what venue is going to be booked for the event, but I know for sure it's going to be something that will definitely be good for the fans and give them a good vantage point to be able to watch the event, so it's good.
It's funny because we were speaking before, and you said that you fall into that category of the 24 to 30-year-old actor. You know, they're the creative ones because they're the ones with the more juices and stuff like that. What do you have to say about that?
You bring up a great point. You know, the 24 to 30 or 24, I'll even go to 30, 32 age group is an age group that's coming from the baby boomers. We're learning from the mistakes that they made, and we're learning of how creative we can be and how helping each other and supporting each other is what it's all about. I mean, you look at here in Montreal, you know, you've got Dom Rebel Threads, you've got Wild Card Clothing, you've got, you know, Jason Barry at Stately's Limousine, who run a, you know, very successful limo company. You look at Maya Sarduk, an editor of a huge magazine here. These are all people, you know, the same age as us, and these are people who are going after what they want. And I think this whole era and knowledge or concept of working a 9 to 5 and putting money away for your retirement, I think doesn't fly with our generation. And I think our generation is all about passion, and it's about waking up in the morning and feeling passionate about what you do. LA is the next step. I'm really excited about going down to LA and going down for pilot season. I'm going to go down for 2 months for pilot season, and I'm just going to touch the water. I'm not going to have any broken dreams. I'm just going to go down there and meet a few people and see what it's all about, and see if there's a you know, a little place for Adam Reid down there and see what it is. But you brought up a great point. You know, inspiration, and I think that's what people have to understand. It's all about supporting each other. That's what we have to do. We have to step up to the plate. We have to put our creative differences aside and say, okay, what do you have access to? What do I have access to? How can I help you? And let's get it done to the best possible product. And I think that's what our generation is doing really well, and that's why our generation is seeing a lot of success.
That's what passion is all about, folks. So Adam, thanks for coming by to do the show, buddy.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
We'll see you next time, folks, here on Push Play TV. Happy holidays.